Hello my bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for you another polymer clay tutorial, and today we're going to be making Funtime Bonnie that's not canon, but it was requested by one of my subscribers. Oh lord, it was something foxy. Oh jeez, I should have looked this up beforehand. Let me check my channel real quick. But while I'm doing that, like I said, this is not a canon character, this was upon request. And since the subscriber was so nice and so awesome, also I just always generally try to do subscribers' requests. I'm also not wearing my glasses because I don't want y'all to be glared to death and back. Funtime Foxy World requested this. Sorry, I had to see. I'm not wearing my glasses like I said. Ooh, my hairs are doing a little thing. A funny thing. Ugh. Anyways, and this is what we're going to be making today. Like I said, he's not canon in the game from the Sister Location game, but they wanted me to make the character. I should go and make him a tail later. Bonnie typically doesn't have a tail that I can recollect, but I might make him a tail later and attach it. I'm not sure. But yeah, and I have already listed him on my Etsy shop. He's listed for $20, which I think is a fair price because it took me maybe 3.5 hours to make, maybe 4. In total, it took me several days working on him to make it. I feel like the lighting is a little too bright. Let's try to... Is that better? Is that better or worse? That's the medium. I have a selfie light attached to my phone, and I don't know if that's making it better or worse. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a little better. Just so you can kind of see the detailing on his face. And his body 360. Also, I just wanted to mention real quick, I'm going to start doing some YouTube videos where I just kind of talk to you guys. If you don't mind that, I hope you guys like that. There's 144 currently of you guys that supposedly like to watch me and like to see what I do, so I'm going to take the time to just talk to you guys about like what's stressing me out or what I've been working on or something like that, and I just feel like it would help me out a lot. And I'm also going to do some wish shopping videos coming soon. I have another Five Nights at Freddy blind box opening. That may come before this video or after, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial because that's been a lot of talking. I will talk with you guys later. Bye-bye, YouTube. Alright, so for this tutorial, you're going to need the following colors. White, red, and a nice medium color blue. We're going to start off with the white. This white I just got at Walmart so I could get it in bulk for cheap. But it is very soft. I don't recommend it if you're kind of rough with your hands. You can kind of pause it here to see how many balls you need to roll out for the body, the head, and everything else. We're going to start with the head, which is this ball right here, which is about maybe an inch or so in diameter. Then at the very top, just press it against your work surface or your hand so you can create an indentation. And this is what it looks like right here. I pressed it in my hand so the back would still stay rounded. If you press it on the work surface, it's going to be flat. Next, we're going to do the torso, so that's going to be the largest ball. It's probably about 1.5 inches in diameter. You're just going to roll that out into our handy dandy teardrop shape. And drinking coffee, pause. Just go ahead and cut the tip off. After you do that, we're going to go ahead and go on to the ears. I forgot what these were for a second. Which are the 2 balls at the very top. Just roll these into very long, thin teardrop shapes, just like you can see in the picture. And then after you do that, take some type of rolling tool and roll them out flat. I always just use my X-Acto knife, because I'm lazy. And that's what they'll look like after you've rolled them out. Try not to flatten them completely. You want them to have a little bit of depth to them. Then just go ahead and cut them off on the bottom and make them flat. Try to make them even. Mine look a little crooked, but it's all good. Then, since they're mechanical, just use your long blade or some type of tool just to cut lines all the way around the ears to make them look more mechanical. Next, we're going to start on the upper part of Bonnie's arms, which is like the biceps. And you're just going to roll these into fat little teardrop shapes. If you want to make them shorter later, you can do that later. Next, we're going to go on to the forearm parts of Bonnie, which are these 2 balls, which I'm trying to point at. I just have crooked fingers, apparently. Just roll these into chubby teardrop shapes. Again, we can edit these later to make them a little more refined. And next, this is how it looks right now. Next, we're going to edit the hands, which are the two small balls on the side, which I didn't point at for some reason. These two balls. They are very, very small. You can see the ruler on my cutting board for reference. Then, as always, cut them into teardrop shapes. Then just cut these off about halfway. You want them to be small because they're his hands. Then I just like to make it more handsy-like. So I just wrap it around my ball tool to make it like a hand is cupped. Alright, and that's what the progress looks like so far. Now we're about to move on to his legs. So we're going to start with the thighs. So you're going to start with these two here. Look at that ring showing itself all cheeky-like. Not intentional. Apparently I duplicated that picture. We're just going to leave that in because I don't feel like editing it out. Enjoy. Alright, roll these into two little fat teardrop shapes. There's kind of a theme going here, isn't there, as usual. All teardrop shapes. Next, we're going to do the calves of Bonnie's legs. And what do you know? We're rolling them into teardrop shapes. Slow clap, everyone. Everyone give yourself a pat on the back. And next, we're going to do the feet with the last two balls. And we're rolling them into teardrop shapes. Brilliant. Brilliant. After that, to make them flat on the bottom, just press them against your work surface. Press them near the bottom so that the toes will still be more rounded than the bottom of the feet. Do it with both of the feet so that they're both flat. I just showed two different pictures to show where I'm doing it. And that's our progress thus far. We're doing pretty good, aren't we? Alright, now there's some pieces that we need to make flat. So this is the top part of the calves. And I just went on ahead and cut them and made it flat. Is this the calves? No, that's the upper part of the arms. Oh, geez. That was his biceps. My bad. Now we're doing the thighs. And you're just going to cut them flat. Honestly, you can kind of cut these on a bias. It would work better. It'll be easier on you in the long run. Now we're going to go ahead and prep and clean a little bit up so it's not so dirty, because right now he looks like he needs a bath. And this is what it looks like after I got done, and I did use more cotton swabs than I anticipated. Had to get coffee. Next, we're moving on to the blue. And just like we did with the white, we're going to pre-roll everything out right here. If you need to, you can pause this video and roll out the same amount of balls. The same as usual. Take a screenshot if you need it. We're going to start with the two at the top, just like we did with Bonnie. Well, I started with the head. You know what I mean? It was kind of near the top. And then we roll these into very thin teardrop shapes. Just to make sure they're the same length as the ears. Then roll them out flat with your rolling blade, rolling tool, whatever it is. And then just put them on top of the ears. And then we need to cut off the excess bits that are hanging off. So, oh, well, before we do that, go ahead and indent them so that they go with the grooves of the ears. Then cut off the excess pieces. As you can see with the one on the left, I just flipped it over. It just makes it easier to cut. Next, we're going to go on to his cheeks. All you're going to do is take these, and then you're just going to make sure you line them up where you want, and just gently press them on his face, like so. Pretty easy on that. Next, we're going to make his little snoot to boop. So we're going to take this one that I've kind of rolled into an oval shape. To make the oval shape, just take the ball and roll it back and forth in your fingers. Then I pressed it against my work surface to make sure it's flat on one side. Then the flat side I just stuck directly onto his head, like so. Perfect. And next we're going to go on to the parts for the body. This small little ball at the very top here is going to be the neck piece. So what you're going to do is just take your finger or your back of your X-Acto blade and press it against your work surface so it'll be flat. Then after you do that, just pick it up and put it on the top of the neck, like so, because he has blue in between his joints. Or, I'm basing it off the other Sister location characters. Next, we're going to do the shoulder pieces, so we're going to take these two. And for these, you can just stick the balls on as is, and we'll kind of cut them and shape them later. Next, we're going to use the teardrop shape piece, and we're going to make that into his belly. So we're just going to roll that out flat and make sure it's nice, thin, and long. After that, you're just going to cut off the tip like we've done before. Nothing new here. I shouldn't even tell you guys about it. You should just look at the pictures. You guys know by now. And then we just put this on to the torso like before. So good. Coffee at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, next we're going to do the upper parts of the thighs, so that's going to be these two. Again, just take whatever you use and flatten it out, and then just put it on the top part of the thighs. Here you can kind of cut it at a bias so it'll fit on the body better, you know, kind of cut it at an angle. Don't just leave it flat like I did, you'll mess it up. Next we're going to take these last two blue balls that we have, and again we're just going to press them down and make them flat. And these pieces are going to go in between the upper thighs and the calves, like so. And that is all the blue I believe we're doing, except for the eyes, which we'll get to later. Then just indent where the toes are going to be with your X-Acto blade or a needle tool, whatever you use. Then just make like a mechanical indentation that goes all the way around the feet. It's just some kind of design to try to make it look more mechanical. Next, go ahead and indent the fingers on the hands that we did earlier. And we're going to go ahead and work on those eyes. So take your dotting tool and just poke it into his head. Try to make sure they're lined up nice and even. Then just take the white again. You're going to want to make sure you wash your hands after touching the blue. And roll out two teeny tiny balls just so they barely fit in the eye sockets. Excuse me. Bless me. Lord have mercy. Then just indent where the eyes are going to go and take two tiny balls of blue. Again, wash your hands before touching this blue or the blue will become white. And then just stick them right in the hole. Allergies. When you live in the South, everyone has allergies. Alright, and I just use metal wires to support all the delicate parts, the neck, the arms, the legs, and everything. Then I just stuck the legs onto the body and the arms together, add glue to all the joints as well. Now it's time for another alcohol bath and a lot of cotton swabs because we're pretty much done at this point almost. Then, as you can see these extra pieces of blue here, I made his thighs and his knees thicker because they kind of got flattened as I was cleaning. Alright, so we're finally on to the red now. And the red, we're just going to use it to make the bow tie, so you'll need 3 tiny balls. 2 for the bows and 1 for the little dot on the bow in the middle. Roll the 2 on the top into teardrop shapes like I've done here. Excuse me. I'm just a mess tonight. Then just press them down and make them nice and flat against your work surface. You can stand to make the bow a little bigger. I kind of went a little too small on this bow, but you know, it's fine. And then just smush them together and put the ball right on top and kind of press it down to make it flat. Then take your glue and glue it to the body. And next we're also going to get black clay. I didn't mention this at the beginning, but I forgot about his nose. My bad. Just take a teeny tiny ball and stick it right on his snoot. And that's his nose. And now you're ready to bake. So go ahead and put it in your pan. If you're cooking it in a gas oven, 350 degrees for 13 minutes is what I do. If you're doing electric, I'd recommend like 250. Low and slow. Just go really low and slow. Electric is kind of crazy. Then just go ahead and glue the joints together like I've done right here. After that, we're going to get a base for him to stand on. I just take this checkered duct tape because it looks like the, you know, the pizzeria floor. Then I just do half of the board, like put on half of the board on the duct tape, cut the excess off because it's not big enough to cover the whole thing at once. And then I just do the other side and cut the excess off, and then that's what it'll look like. Nice and pretty, right? Looks perfect. Next, you're also going to need black acrylic paint and a dotting tool. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but I'm kind of lazy with that in my videos. Y'all know that by now. And these are all the black spots you need to make. His buttons, any little dots, his whiskers, his eyebrows, his pupils, the works. Then take your handy dandy E6000 and glue him onto the base. Put something behind him to prop him up. After that's fully dried, take some white just to dot some little glistens in his eyes. Little glistening lights in his eyes. And then just take your polyurethane floor varnish is what I use. And brush him with 1 to 2 coats. I usually do 2 coats for extra sturdiness. And after that, you're done. Ta-da! Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll give you a little outro spiel now. Hey there again, and we're all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial for Fun Time Bonnie. I hope this helped you all out. I hope it was easy to follow along. And I hope you guys will check out my Etsy shop. Even if you don't buy this guide, maybe you'll find something else you'd like to buy. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out very much. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget commenting. It helps me out a lot. And I really appreciate it, obviously. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, YouTube.